is having a beautiful morning. I'm having a beautiful morning. I'm so sorry about the video that I did yesterday. I want to apologize for that. I really, really want to apologize for that because what happened was that my phone was connected to my headphones and I totally forgot it. I've listened to some music and I totally forgot. I totally forgot that it was connected to my phone. So if it's connected to my phone or connected to my camera, right, you're not going to hear anything. You're just going to hear. So I apologize for that. That was two videos. Let's jump right into this. These figures and gatekeepers of fame, fortune, and riches, they put these individuals up there for one reason and one reason only. Majority of the time, you have a new intern. It could be a beautiful young girl. You know, you're on stage. You know, all these things are going down. You know, she's seeking to to better her career. She want to get herself out there. You being a gatekeeper, you being a person, a figure, instead of helping somebody to just get to the top or getting somewhere in life where doors are closed and other gatekeepers have access to the key to the gate. A lot of these women, young women and young men are met with pedophiles and molesters, right? And predators. They are in this industry. This is why it's really, really important to understand what we are up against. When you are dealing with this demonic, evil, twisted devil, demon mindset, which sits there and wait on a path of righteousness, wait on a path of leveling yourself up, wait on a path of just getting yourself in a really good position in life where you can build a good life for yourself, basically. You are met with deception. You are met with being taken advantage of. You are met with sexual favors. And these things that go on, this been going on for years upon years upon years in this industry. This stuff been going on. This is not nothing new. You know, predators like that, allegedly. Allegedly. However the tape is out, whatever the case may be, listen, nobody has the right to sexual assault anybody. Nobody has a right to sexually talk to anybody in a derogatory way. This is sad and it's bad. To be a person of status, to be a person of a celebrity figure, to help individuals out, just to help individuals out. You're not seeking sexual favors and pleasures and all these other stuff. These are actually people that is really want to build a career for themselves. They really want to build an institution for themselves to take advantage of innocence. These are innocents. You're innocent. So you being a gatekeeper and you being all these things, you have the keys to reach, to help the person reach to the next level. But no, you're not helping them. You want to have sex with them. Sexual favors. If I do this for you, you got to do this for me. This stuff goes all around the world. Not just in this industry, but all around the world. This happened on jobs. This happened on any everywhere that these things happen. Where if you want this, you're going to have sex with me. These things go on. It go on. And we need to keep exposing everybody that's upholding this murder, death, kill, barbaric, evil, twisted way of life. Of being a predator. There's predators all around in many different forms. You just don't know. We know that in this industry, that it is predators. It is predators. For this man, allegedly, to use sexual explicit acts upon somebody, this is wrong. Yes, Benjamin Woe. Yes, you can ask me a question. Yes. So, but before we get into this, we're gonna play the video. We're gonna play the video.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by also known as on OnlyFans. Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about.
Listen, listen. How? Okay, it says Benjamin Wu. How the Jews leave Israel as black people return as white people. Wow, you get me off this topic. Getting off this topic. Okay, let's make the difference between Jews and Hebrew. Hebrew. Jews is a way of life. Jewish, anybody could be Jewish. Anybody could be Jewish. Anybody could be Jewish. But not everybody could be Hebrew. I'm Hebrew, right? I'm Hebrew. And my way of life, right? And my ancestors' way of life is Jewish. So the Hebrews, right? The Hebrews got scriptures from the Torah, Jewish, Jewish. So before that, before the Hebrews was called Jewish, they was called uply God right ones. They of the bloodline of the ancient ancestors that didn't speak. They didn't speak. They talked telepathically to one another, and they used telekinesis to pick up objects. This is all big facts. So that's what that happens. That's what that happened. I trace my lineage back all the way to the 1600s. I could trace my bloodline of me being Hebrew and Jewish all the way back to the 1800s, where in St. Thomas I had my family contribute and paying, right, the synagogue in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. Yes, I'm a descendant of that very bloodline. Yes, this is actual fact, but I'm Muslim. So I get two blessings, right? I'm Hebrew. It's actual fact, I'm Hebrew, right? Trace my bloodline back to Portugal, right? And I'm Muslim, right? Jewish. That's in my bloodline. Yes. This is actual fact. So Hebrews are the descendants of the ancient ancestors. That bloodline that's passed all the way from Adam, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down to the bloodline, all the way to the last prophet of the uply God right ones. Remember, the uply God right ones. The name, the reason why the name changed is because the different regions throughout the earth. But the bloodline is still the same of the oneness and Almighty, the Creator, to worship one Creator. That always been one. Back then it wasn't belief. Back then it wasn't no Jews or Christian or Muslims. It was non-belief or belief. That's it. It wasn't no religion. It wasn't no religion. So the individuals that came back as as Europeans, as Jewish, they not Hebrews. They not Hebrew. They took on the religion. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. That's it. So I hope that answered your questions, Benjamin Wu. I need to get back into this topic, right? So situations like this, where you got gatekeepers out there, Benjamin Wu. Wow. Okay. I want to get on this topic, but um, do you know when this happened around the time where this happened around the time of the 1800s, where where I know from my ancestors and what I got in my documents in Portugal, they was being murdered all through there. The Iranian Peninsula, all through there, there was Jewish all through there. I'm Sephardic. I'm a Sephardic Jew. Yes, I'm Sephardic Jewish, but I'm also Hebrew. You understand? I'm Hebrew. Do you know about the kingdom of Kanazina? No. Wait, let me hold on. Let me take a picture of that, okay? I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna look it up. I think I heard of it, and I think as I was reading, I think I brushed upon it, but I didn't actually look it up. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. But to answer your question, it was during the 1800s. It was during the 1800s where the Hebrews and the Jewish was being persecuted and murdered. It's an actual true fact. They adopted Judaism in the 1600s and brought it to Portland. You talk about the Europeans? Yeah, that's true. During the 1300s, yeah, that's true. Yes, yes. But the Jewish religion, right? The Jewish religion, it came about Moses, peace and blessings be upon him. That's how that came about. That's how that came about with the Torah. And see what happened, yeah, when they fled from, yeah. But see what happened was, right? What happened was, I'm gonna break this down to you. Now I'm getting off I gotta get off topic. Okay. But I'm after I answer your question, I'm gonna get back into this topic with him. What happened was, you gotta understand this, right? Before all right, before Moses, right? Moses and stuff that happened before him, there was no religion. There was no scriptures. You understand? There was no scriptures. There was no scriptures. There was no scriptures. Crazy that people know so much about all the time ago, but we know nothing about right now. No, you're not letting me. I do know. I do know what's going on right now. This is Noah business, right? I do know what's going on right now. You gotta let me break it down. You gotta let me talk. You gotta let me explain it. Please let me explain it. Moses didn't mean it like that. Okay, okay. Thank you. Yo, please like, share, subscribe, man. Look, Moses, right? There was an agreement that I got to break down to you. I got to start from the beginning. The people was called the uply God right ones. They didn't write. They didn't speak. There was no religion. There was the only thing they believe and non-belief. That's all it was. All the way up to Noah. All the way up to Noah. This is how it happened. All the way up to Noah. There was belief and non-belief. There was no religion at all. No religion. People did not speak. They built pyramids. Yes, they built pyramids. After Noah too, they built pyramids. It was an agreement because it was an agreement between it was an agreement between the people that believe in one creator, the Alpha Omega, the creator of everything in existence. Right? They was fighting with another group of people, right? That believe in the opposite, and they both had power. They both had power. See, I got to break this down. They both had power at the time, meaning they could transform their spirits in and out their body freely. They could pick up boulders and they build pyramids. This is actual true fact. They was fighting one another, fighting. So the ancient ancestors that believe in one creator, the Alpha Omega, believed in him, prayed to him, and asked him to save the bloodline, of the belief in one creator, the belief that the creator is real. Because he is real. So what happened was, they was fighting all the way from Adam, peace of blessing, peace upon him, all the way to Noah. They was fighting amongst each other. That's why the flood happened. The flood happened, right, to wipe everybody away. It wiped because the unbelief was, it was, I'm keeping it real with you, it was winning. It was taking over. But the bloodline still was there. Because they made the agreement with the ancient ancestors that was taken up. The creator took these ancient ancestors up, mind, body, and soul up to him. He took them up. They up there because the example of that being true, right, is Enoch. The creator took Enoch up. He's of the ancient bloodline. He's of that descendant. He took him up. So he took them up. He still left the descendants behind, which was practicing the one belief. But it was being overpowered. They was fighting each other. So to save the bloodline, right, to save this, I'm going to keep it real what you did. I'm going to keep it real what the creator did. He annihilated all of the disbelief. He annihilated it. That's why the flood, that's why it was the rainbow. The rainbow means the agreement that he's not going to flood the earth no more. Like he did. He flooded the whole entire earth. So when he flooded the earth, you know what happened? When the water subsided, all the pyramids was built. Was underneath all that mud. So now we got new terranium. Now we got a new earth. At the time, the whole earth was together. It was one. The whole earth was together. So after the flood, it shifted the earth. I'm saying the creator, he shifted the earth. Right? Once he shifted the earth, because everything was together. The people were together. Everybody was together. They was together. So after the flood, right, he shifted the earth. He started making Africa. He started making different places, different regions. That's what he did. So after the flood, after everything subsided, remember the pyramids was built. Remember the mud and everything was built on top of the pyramids. You couldn't see it no more. He said it in the scripture that he did it. He did it. He said, look how we buried those that came before you. This is actual true facts. So after the flood, Noah, peace be upon him, he dedicated to his sons and everybody that was on the ark to go over there, to go over there, to go over there, over there, over there, over there. But there still wasn't no scriptures. Do you understand? There still was no scriptures. There still was no religion. It still was an uply God right one, belief and non-belief. This is how it will happen. As time progressed and time went on into Abraham. And from Abraham, remember, Abraham was of the ancient ancestor too. He was part of the descendant because the creator, right? Salaam alaikum. Because the creator made the agreement with the ancient ancestors that he was going to protect and keep that bloodline that worship him alive. So what happened was through Abraham, with his son, right, Ishmael, right, Ishmael, Isaac, that's the religion came about. It came through there. It came through there. That's how it came. So that's how, because everything was at one. It was one at that time. Everything was one. So he figured, the Creator said, "Yo, I'm gonna separate everything," and that's how the Jewish, Muslim, and Christianity religion came about. That's how that came about. That's how that came about. That's exactly how it came about. Because everything was one. Everybody was fighting. They was fighting each other. Belief and non-belief. I believe in the Creator. The other people like, nah, I don't believe in no Creator. We God. Not saying that we God. No, we superior on earth. One of the last descendants of the pharaohs was Ramsey. He was the last one that held on to that bloodline. Ramesses, yes. He was the last one that held on to that. After him, everything changed. Remember when he died? After him, everything changed, basically. You don't have no more pharaohs no more. Basically, that believe in him. He uphold that from all the way back then. This is actually true facts. Ramesses, Moses was scared to death of him. Moses was scared to death of him because Ramesses just wasn't what they read in the scriptures. Ramesses, what? Ramesses knew about the afterlife. He knew about this existence and the next existence because our ancient ancestors knew about that. They knew about it. They knew about it. They was in tune with it. They was powerful. Why do you think the Creator, right at the time, he had to eradicate all of that and switch it? Because it's going to lead to murder, death, kill amongst the people. The people was powerful back then. They was fighting each other. Belief and non-belief. This is actual true fact. They was killing each other. Yes. So they prayed to the Creator to save that bloodline. And through the bloodline, right, the Hebrews came about. That's why the messengers kept going to them, the Hebrews, because they were the descendants of the ancient ancestors, right? But every time they kept going, they kept forgetting the teachings. They kept forgetting the belief in one Creator. They kept forgetting the belief in the one Creator. They kept forgetting. So the messenger kept going to them. That's how that went about. Because they of that bloodline. That's right. That's actual fact. The Hebrews. That's how that came about. Because they are the direct descendants of the ancient ancestors. They were the first one that got scriptures, was the Hebrews. Because there was no scriptures before. There wasn't no holy scriptures that was sent down from him. No, it was not. They were so in tune with him. They was in tune, I mean, everything. So that's how that came about. Sorry that I got off topic, men in general. I'm sorry that I got off topic, that I was talking about Shannon, how he was basically, how he's a predator. He's no different than no other these celebrities out here that's traumatizing and victimizing people that's looking for a come up, that's actually trying to further their studies and further their careers. These individuals are gatekeepers. They are allowed to put up. He said that she wanted to get down. That's what he said in the video. She wanted to get down. It was sensual. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to do it too, in order to get to these places. It doesn't matter whether she want to do it or not. She's 20 years old. You're 60 years old. I understand. But when you are a professional and you are living in this limelight, fame, fortune, and riches, you're going to be met with stuff like that. What you should do is say, you know what, sweetheart? Well, you know what? Not even sweetheart. Would you know, excuse me, young queen and young king, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to point you in this direction, and you take it from there. That's all I can do for you. I'm doing the same thing that somebody did for me. I'm gonna point you in that direction. That's how you're supposed to do that. You shouldn't be like, yo, you know what? You want to get on? Have sex with me. Let's do this and do that. You know, and it's sad that this goes on all around the world. We are one and the same people who believe in the Creator, but each religion has decided to believe differently from the others. Yes, it can't. All right. The Creator says that. He said that. Yes, the people differ later, but we was one, right? But you got to understand. Yes, we was one. I'm talking about during Adam time. Peace and blessing be upon him. We was one. How did Adam learn how to build? He learned from the civilized. He learned from everything that was already here on earth before him. He learned from the bees, the birds, the trees. Everything that we do in all the civilizations that we have set up, it's the same as the ant. It's the same as the bee, the termite, and any other insects that's out there and animals that's out there. It's the same exact thing. We just more advanced. Yes, the objective was to preach and to keep balance and justice upon the earth. This is why the Creator created us, right? And to believe in Him and worship Him. But there's free will. You got to understand that. You got to understand that the Creator, right? I'm gonna keep it real with you. Now I'm about to get deep. Yo, everybody was like, yo, you know what? Get up. I don't care about Shannon. We're gonna get in this topic. You gotta understand that the Creator, the Alpha or Omega, the Creator of everything in existence, duplicated Himself. He duplicated Himself. I want you to please like, share, subscribe. I'm telling you, this is a dope channel. He duplicated Himself. We are Him and He is us. You know the spirit and soul is two different. The soul is free will. It have emotions, it have intelligence. It just have. The animals have a soul, but they don't have a spirit. And the animals, the soul, right? They soul don't have free will. They can't do whatever they want to do. They gotta do whatever their nature is designed. We got a spirit and soul. We got our free will is activated in our spirit. That's why our spirit, right? Our spirit is of Him, is of His essence. Is of Him, is a piece of His everlasting life. Wherever He is and wherever entity that He is, we are that. I can't say His energy because I don't know. He's not a human being. Put it like that. He's not human, right? He's everlasting. So He duplicated Himself, the spirit, and He put limitations on it. I don't know how He did it. He duplicated Himself. Every spirit and everybody in existence, right? And having spirit is of Him and He's of us. But He duplicated Himself by we're not perfect by hearing, seeing, sight, stuff like that. By thinking, we procreate. We cannot create. We procreate. We cannot create another us. Like He, like He did, like formed us and like formed things out of His mind. He formed stuff. I don't know how He do it. That's His thing. But we procreate. There's no other intelligence in existence that we know that can procreate and create things like we can. We could procreate buildings. We could procreate children. We procreate. He's the creator. So He duplicated Himself. That's why He told everything in existence besides Himself to bow down to us. To bow down to us. To bow down. Everything in existence, right? Non-existence and existence. You feel me? Meaning, I'm talking about like rocks, buildings, and like chairs, stuff that we procreated. Everything in existence bowed down to us. The birds, the bees, the trees, the worms, flies, anything that you could think of bowed down to us. It bowed down to us. Because you know why? Because he duplicated himself. He made another him. You feel me? It's crazy. He made him. I don't know how he did it. I don't know. He took a piece of his essence and breathed into Adam. And that's how Adam came alive. Remember, Adam just was a shell. Peace and blessing be upon him. When he breathed that spirit in him, that's what gave him life, that spirit. Yes, this is only a shell. We know that. We part of the earth. The earth is us, and we are the earth. This is why we taste death. Because everything in existence besides himself, he exists outside of existence. He don't exist in existence. He exists outside of existence. This existence, right, of human being, of everything that you could think of, he exists outside of it. It has a beginning and end. He don't have a beginning and end. Our spirit, no, our spirit is a part of him. It cannot be destroyed. It must taste death. It must taste death. He put this on us. Why? Listen, he's amazing. I worship him. And being that you know this, right? That's where the non-belief come in at. The non-belief from belief. It comes into that. Because back then, individuals so powerful, they know this. They know it. You know it. So if you know it, that's where belief and non-belief, right, get into. Me, I believe. I'm like, yo, if he did all this, I want to know him. I want to know him. I want to get in tune with him. So I'm going to do everything in my power to get in tune with this entity that created us, that created the whole entire world, that duplicated himself. That duplicated himself. He duplicated himself. He literally did. I want to get to know him. But you got others that said, nah, no, I don't believe in him. We are this, we are that. We the Alpha Omega. And they have a point. But we only procreate. We can't create. You can't create the earth. You understand? You can't create the earth. You can't create the fly. You can't create the animals. You can't create. You can only procreate. Prototypes and all that other stuff. You feel me? You can't just you can think of it, but you just can't out of the kid blue bring stuff into existence, out of non-existence. Only procreation of non-existent things like bottles and like chairs and buildings and stuff like that. Like stuff like that, we can procreate. You know? That just go back to show you that he is the greatest of the greatest to me. You know? But we got a great topic. I want to thank you so much. I hope that answered your questions. And I got off topic, talk about Shannon, that this guy is a lot of predators out here. I don't apologize for the people that wanted to see about Shannon. But yeah, man, this situation that's going on with this guy, you got gatekeepers out here. You got predators out here that's only there for that. They only there to destroy and murder and kill people. That's it. And to having being gatekeepers like this, predators, right? And child molesters and pedophiles and child abusers, all that goes in the same category. Whether she consent to it or whether she not, he ain't supposed to have advanced that agreement with her. He's supposed to be like, you know what, you want to get on? And here you go. Give her a number and name. Boom. Tell them that Shannon sent me. You get more blessings like that instead of just want to have sex with this young girl. Whether they orchestrating it or whatever the case may be, that's none of my business. I'm just looking at the act and the mindset of individuals. Now, that's not the first person you did that to. That's probably the first person. That's not the first person you did that to. How many other women that you did this to, that's keeping their mouth shut, that you boost their career just to have sex with you? These are the questions that we need to answer, man. This man he's a predator. Straight up, he's a predator. And that falls in the category of child molester and rapist. You're a predator. Straight up like that. Allegedly that you did the sexual assault, but I see you as a predator. That's an actual true fact. You are a predator because You are using your fame, fortune, and riches to prey upon people, right? People that you feel that's weak, that don't have status. Yeah, you a predator, straight like that. I didn't mean to give the topic, but you are a predator, homeboy. That's exactly who you are. And that falls in the category of rapist, child abuser, pedophile, and molester. Straight like that. And I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I don't care who feel about it. This is actual fact. We expose individuals like that. On this channel, we expose rapists and pedophiles that's touching children and baiting children out of their innocence, or baiting anybody out of the innocence, right? With fame, fortune, and riches. You're a predator. You're a predator. You're a predator. So I just would like to end this topic with, I love your guys, and your guys have a great and amazing Thursday. Peace, y'all. Later. Later.